Racing has resumed, and boy, has it made our reaction time segment a little more exciting. This week, we're going to check out a clip from Speed Video's Race Day replay from the COVID-8 this past weekend in Orlando, Florida, checking out the final round of Radial versus the World action. We've got Marcus Birt going head-to-head with Sean Ayres. Let's go ahead and see what's up here.
Of modern day. Put it in the beeps right here. Here we
No
go.
social distancing on the starting land at Speed World Dragway. We're out. But there was some social distancing there. 356, 205, 19. You got Lee Sebring on the call. You hate to see it end like that, you know, with one car going up in smoke, guys, but I don't know that I can say enough about what Marcus Birt, Stevie Fast Jackson, Jeffrey Barker, Billy Stockland, Phil Schuler, every other super genius racer that's involved with that black Corvette going 356 with a nitrous engine. Unbelievable. Mike, did you ever think we'd see anything like this? I mean, he's got nitrous racing covered by almost a 10th.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive, just the consistency of it. I think, you know, I've watched them during the day, I've watched them in the evening, and they just straight get down. I think it's a team that's behind them. I mean, you know, Marcus is highly motivated. Jeffrey Barker is the car chief, and obviously Stevie Fast and Schuler, all those guys. I mean, you just got this amazing brain trust, and it shows what you can do with a great team and a motivated driver owner. They definitely have changed the way people think about nitrous, especially in the radial side of things.
I don't know about you, but if I don't know about you guys, but if I'm pro nitrous racers, big tire nitrous racers of any kind, I'm like buying a drag strip or renting a drag strip and just taking all the weight out of my car, and I'm going to run every day, rebuild the engine every night, whatever has to be done to get that record back. Because it's so crazy to think that the fastest nitrous car in the world is a street tire, no wheelie bar equipped door car. I mean, it's hard for me to wrap my head around it, but it really just speaks to the, like you said, Mike, it's such a different thing, but it still just blows my mind to see a car perform like that. And I think that there are probably a lot of people out there. I want to give Marcus Birt some credit. I'm sure there are tons of racers out there going, man, what I wouldn't give to have that car or to have that ride or to be behind the wheel of that car. There may not be a hotter seat in drag racing if you think about it, because everyone knows what that car is capable of. It does it all the time. So pretty much the only weak link is really the guy behind the wheel. And I'm not saying Marcus Birt is, but that's a lot of pressure to have on one human being because, hey, man, the car is fast. The whole
I watched
world
that guy,
right.
Outlaw 10.5, right? Yeah. I mean, Outlaw 10.5, I mean, the guy just would slay the tree. I mean, you know, big pressure, big money. He's used to it. It's normal for him. And, you know, like
I suppose they call him the Axeman for a reason, right?
Exactly. So it's a good team. It's a little bit different than Drag Week, huh, Alex?
A little different. I was going to say, like, we've talked before. My weak link is not knowing all the records and not knowing that I'm not as media based as you guys. However, you know that that's a fast time. You know that that's impressive. You know that car's impressive. And to see it working, and like we're talking about with the small tire and everything like that, that's impressive. And that we had the discussion of small tire racing last week, and that's why it's like that excites you. That's exciting. You hate to see something like that not happen. So
it is exciting for me. I can't help but feel like though these small events like this, it's such a weird thing for me because to execute that 356 at 205, the track has to be incredible, right? That is as sticky of a racetrack as probably anybody's ever going to see, and that's the only way those performances are capable or able to be produced. It's super impressive, but it's just such a small moment in time or whatever that runs like that are possible that it's, I don't know, it's finite, very finite. It's impressive nonetheless. And what I think that, I mean, it's impressive. I'm not taking anything away from it. I think the most impressive part of this is how it forces everyone else forward. I mean, we're not talking about it here today. Maybe we should be, but there was a bunch of nitrous cars that went fast this past weekend. Jamie Hancock went really fast, mid 360s. We saw Luis De Leon from Fuel Tech behind the wheel of Brian Shaw's Jerry Bickle built 68 Camaro dive well into the 360s. I think they went 368. That's a career best run for that team. And I think that when you see someone like Marcus Birt in this camp going well into the 50s, and you know that you have to get it forces everyone else to kind of level up, whether they want to or not. It expands their mind, their belief set, I think, of what they think is possible, and they start stepping out of their comfort zone, and we see records across the board. So
it shows like Sean Ayres, right? I mean, those guys, they went for it, smoked the tires because they knew they had to go for it. But I don't think a lot of people are talking a lot about Fletcher Cox's new car, which Sean Ayres drives. Here these guys come out. This is only the second event. What do they have? Maybe a dozen runs on this combination. Now, granted, I know they bought it in an existing program, but they changed it up a whole bunch and kind of put their spin on it and their what they want to do. And so I think them coming in with that combo going 356 the other day, I mean, it's impressive.
It really is, but it speaks to, I've always said this about radial racing, is you don't really see anybody dive into this particular brand of drag racing and have immediate success unless you have a history on radials, because it's the polar opposite of like all other forms of drag racing, basically, especially with a slick tire. So to go there and have success, I look at Nick and Rich Bruder. Nick Bruder is one of the primary tuners on Fletcher Cox's new Camaro that, as you mentioned, Mike, Sean Ayres has been driving. And I think that their almost immediate success is tied very heavily to a lifetime of experience on drag radials by Nick Bruder.
Yeah, I mean, they went fast with their Mustang, and I think a lot of that transferred over. They got, the Soma engine, which, you think of Anthony DeSoma, you think of small block Ford with turbos or twin turbo Hemis, but then here he comes out with a, twin screw DeSoma motor, and it's like, wow, Anthony's all of a sudden in the game of twin screw blower engines. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. And I will say, you got to give some credit to the man himself, Donald Long. It's as much heat as that guy takes, as much controversy as he stirs up. It's really incredible to see a multitude of different combinations, all in those mid to high 350s, low 360s. The competition this past weekend at the COVID-8 was fierce, to say the least. And man, he's done a fantastic job. His whole rule maker team, I know Roger Conley's involved from Holly Performance Parts, as well as John Sears. They do a great job forcing all these guys to basically make max effort runs every time out. It's really impressive. And I think that'll wrap up this week's reaction time.